right. I'm recording.
I'm recording too.
Yay.
Hooray. Welcome, people.
Welcome
to Wingin It, the West Wing Podcast. My name's Andrea, and I'm joined, as always,
Sallie.
with my friend Sallie. Yay!
That's me.
And we're here to talk about Season 3. Are we calling it Episode 7? I know the Isaac and Ishmael thing.
I don't know if we've decided. I think we don't count Isaac and Ishmael, right? Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. Is this 6 or 7? I don't know. But we're calling... Well, whatever. We're going to talk about Gone Quiet, and we're glad that you've joined us for this little audible odyssey today.
Speaking of audible odysseys, should we sing?
Yes, we should.
Yeah, we should.
Now, if I sound hoarse, it's because I was up late singing Destiny's Child at the top of my lungs. Likely story. Okay. So just saying, if that's why.
It's a fair excuse, though. So
yeah, I mean, what a way to go.
I don't think anybody's going to be mad about that.
Oh gosh.
All right.
The extended edition today.
Hope everyone is in the right mindset now.
Are we ready to talk about the best show ever?
Yep, I'm ready.
Not the VH1 show best. Oh wait, that was best week ever, not best show ever.
I don't remember.
Oh, it was
one.
It was like a weekly wrap up of news. Okay, cool. Well, let's talk about Gone Quiet, which is something we have not done yet.
No, never. I don't even know if there's a yet. Something we will not do.
Something we won't do until the end of season 7.
Yeah.
Well, shall we TikTok? Shall we recap what happened in this episode?
Yeah, let's TikTok.
Great.
Or you can do it.
You can do it.
Cool.
I could give like bullet points.
Perfect. I'll take it away. So, big thing is that there is a submarine that has gone quiet. Look at that. They've gone quiet, gone MIA, radio silent in the waters right off of North Korea, which is, not desirable.
Nope.
So there's that, and a little bit of a problem. That is throughout the whole episode. There's also an ongoing thing. Toby is fighting with somebody about the budget and wanting to defund the arts programs. There's cool. That. Not cool. Also, Sam and Bruno and Connie and Toby sort of are battling about campaign strategies and about whether or not to send... Yeah, hard money, soft money, whether to send these campaign ads. And CJ is too sexy for her shirt, and she's all excited because the majority leader got the question, why do you want to be the president? And he totally tanked. And that is also a thread throughout. So... That's pretty much... Oh, and Abby and... Dr. Bartlett and Oliver Babish are talking about the hearings coming up.
Yes. So we do cover...
Done.
We do cover quite a bit of ground. That was great, Sallie.
Thank you. I'm going to start a new podcast that's West Wing in 30 seconds, and that's literally all it's going to be.
Yep. Just a little, steroid injection of the wing for your day.
I'll just do it for every TV show ever, and... People won't have to watch things, and they'll know what they're talking about.
I would subscribe to that. Think of all the time I'd save.
Right? It's not a terrible idea. You'd be like, oh, yeah, last week on such and such, this happened.
Yeah. Just tell me what happened. Just tell me what happened on $1 Million Listing, and I'll be fine. And Scandal, because I've officially become hooked.
Cool.
Scott Foley. Okay, so how did you feel about the episode in general? Like, in the milieu of episodes that we have to work with, what would you rate this?
I really like this episode, and I know it's not as, crazy hard-hitting. I don't know if I could actually rate it number-wise, but it's not as hard-hitting as some, but I really liked how it's very quippy, and I liked the whole Gone Quiet thing, the should we do something, should we not do something. I thought it was a good mix of different things, and I liked it. How'd you feel about it? Not good?
You know what? I appreciated the ending more than I appreciated... The whole thing in general. I don't know. Yeah. This is not one that I would sit down and rewatch. It is not a rewatcher for me.
That's fair.
So it's not that I didn't hate it. I mean, obviously the CJ I'm too sexy thing is just that is a gem it's a diamond in the rough of this episode, I would say.
I should pay attention to which episodes are not rewatchers for you, and proportionately how much time Bradley Whitford is in those episodes.
Stop! Okay, that's not fair. That's not fair. I swear.
Because this was a very Josh light episode.
Yeah, he wasn't in it till the first, half of it was over.
I know.
Legitimately
because when he popped up, I was like, oh, Josh, where have you been? I made a note that was like, it's been a while since we've been this far into an episode without Josh.
Yeah, and it wasn't just Josh, because I wrote in all caps. I'm taking, regular notes, and then I wrote in all caps, 10 minutes in and we haven't seen Josh or Toby or Donna. And then I keep taking notes, and I say, where are Josh and Donna? Keep taking notes, and then I say, oh, good, 20 minutes in, and here they are. So it wasn't just him.
Because I wrote in the beginning, this is a very president-heavy episode. It
is.
Yeah, that President Bartlett was doing a lot more so than he sometimes is.
True.
I wonder if any part of that was a conscious decision on Sorkin's part to try and balance it, or you think? I mean, I guess I kind of imagine that he just wrote whatever story he wanted to write. You know what I mean? Without that in his head.
Yeah.
But I wonder.
I kind of wonder. I wonder if maybe there were certain plot points he wanted to cover. Because you think about Dr. Bartlett and Babish, and that's the only piece of the MS prosecution that's going on in this whole episode. There's just a tiny little, inch forward in that storyline. I feel like that was necessary in order to not gloss over that whole storyline in general. But otherwise, it didn't really fit with the episode. Everything else had to do with other things. So I feel like the
only thing that moved any storyline further in this episode, if that makes sense. There weren't any other pieces, as in this episode could have, other than the MS stuff, this episode could have been taken out entirely, and although the budget stuff will come back, so I guess maybe not. But
also, I have a theory that there were scenes with Josh and Donna in this episode that they cut for time.
That's always a possibility.
Tell me what you think, because maybe I missed something. It always happens. But at the end, when we finally do see them, and there's some sort of tension as though they had a tiff earlier in the day, and Josh even mentions that, he and Donna. But it's really unclear what it was. And I kind of feel like they must have just cut out a scene. That just for time. It just felt disjointed to me. It
would be hard to tell with Sorkin because sometimes there's just stuff you're supposed to pick up on anyway, with in regard to relationships and things happening, that you're supposed to get an entire plot line from one line of dialogue. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not there's no telling really. I wish we had the DVDs.
Yeah. Ooh,
although did the DVDs include cut scenes on this, I wonder? Somebody will tell us.
Somebody will definitely tell us.
Yeah.
That's how it felt to me. But other things, yeah, okay, I would like to play a little audio clip. We can't play, for copyright purposes, not that we really pay a whole lot of attention to those. But because it's in multiple scenes, this song, I'm still sitting here trying to see if I'm going to buy the I'm Too Sexy song for this podcast. The things you do for love, people. The things I do for you. I think I will do it. But here's a clip of CJ singing the song. I don't even know what to say about it.
CJ? I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my skirt, too sexy for the other things.
What in God's name is
He got the question.
Who?
The majority leader.
When?
Last night, local news, Cleveland, Ohio. Oh, mio, oh, mio, oh, Cleveland, Ohio. He got the question.
What's the question?
Why do you want to be president?
And what do you say?
The reason I would run were I to run is I have a great belief in this country as a country and in this people as a people that go into making this country a nation with the greatest natural resources and population of people, educated people.
I'll spread it around.
I'm too sexy for my shoes, too sexy for the blues, too sexy.
So there's a song from our past that is now a part of our present. I don't know.
Yes. I love that. It's not even, I was about to say I love that storyline or plot points. Doesn't even qualify as that, but I love every time CJ singing it to Toby especially, and her just
Yes.
trying to figure it out in the beginning.
Yes,
Like, is he
with Carol.
happy about this, or is he not happy about this?
So,
like,
is it
was
a problem?
just great.
So it's not a problem?
No.
He's
So,
too sexy?
Yeah, that was... yeah, he's not having a problem. That was really... I just adored that. Especially the singing it to Toby, because Toby's little smirk, his little face when she's doing that.
Oh my goodness.
And then she has the famous "Oh mio, oh mio," Cleveland, Ohio.
Ohio, yes. She does have some lovely... Yeah, CJ's a nice little spice to this episode. I mean, when is she not, really?
I mean, it's like... I mean, she's always comedic and funny, but there are certain times in the series where she is more so, and you watch her do it, and you're just like, this should be all the time. I mean, she can do the drama, obviously, and everything else about it, too, she's wonderful, but then every time she gets these types of moments, I'm like, you're so good at this.
Yes. When she gets to be playful, it's a real treat for all involved. I just want to, when we get Richard Schiff, I just want to ask him about so many things, really.
Toying with our emotions.
Oh, man. We did have some, like we said, Abby and Oliver Babish had that scene. How did you feel about that one?
Well, I enjoy any of their scenes together because I think that both of them are just... sort of like powerhouses, and so anytime you get to sort of watch them spar, I really enjoy. And I think, I don't know how I feel about the turn in the MS storyline, because it comes out in their conversations that they don't really have a case against the president, a criminal case. So they're coming after Dr. Bartlett because they can make a criminal case against her. And I can't really decide how I feel about that. Like, if I sort of feel like it's kind of a cop-out, but it's not, I don't know. It changes it a lot for me.
It's a huge change.
Yeah. Because also, wouldn't it be so much easier for the White House to flip that story, just like Babish did in there about, the man breaking into the pharmacy to steal medication for his wife? It would be so much easier for them to flip that narrative when it's all about Dr. Bartlett instead of about President Bartlett. So I think it's interesting, but I love watching them interact regardless.
Yeah. And honestly, and I love Stockard Channing. And however, we have mentioned that she has to be kind of cold a lot. So I feel like I always want a little bit more warmth from her, because it's like she's almost always arguing with either the president or with somebody, just being a force to be reckoned with. But I really liked in this scene, because once she realizes that she's an actual liability, when he explains like what the angle could be, you kind of see this moment of softness and softening happen with her. When she's talking about her, former malpractice suits and all of that kind of thing. So I liked that in terms of her character in this scene.
That makes sense. Definitely. Yeah. I wasn't like riveted by it though. I mean, I enjoyed other storylines better. Speaking of which, how did you feel about Albie?
Hal Holbrook, isn't that who it is?
Yeah, it's Hal Holbrook, yeah.
What a great guy, right?
He's great, right?
He can just... I mean, I like him in, I think, everything I've ever seen.
Absolutely. And it's so funny because President Bartlett is supposed to hate him. And he's like, bring a copy of the Constitution because I want him to know I'm not scared of him. But I don't get why we would not like him, really. Because Bartlett was saying stuff about like, oh, he's just a joy to be around or something like that when... they were talking about keeping him around, and I was like, so far I have had no reason to kick him out. Like, I think he's delightful.
Yeah, and I think so too. Because
Bartlett, I feel like, because later he's banging his head on the desk when he's like rambling on, and Albie's rambling on about all of these things. And it's funny because people say that like the things you dislike in other people are like qualities you dislike in you, and so like. It's funny that Bartlett is annoyed at him rambling on and on and on when like that's such a Bartlett thing.
Totally.
And his little bow tie. I just adored it. I loved it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's his voice or what it is, but yeah, I just loved I loved Hal Holbrook.
There's something just, like, immediately, like, calming about, I don't know, just, like, he feels like your grandpa, you know? He feels like a member of your family, like, immediately. He says, you lost your boat in the wrong part of the world there, Mr. President.
He does feel like the grandpa.
And then after that, he's like, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. I said you lost your boat in the wrong part of the world. Oh, it's great. The whole thing.
Plus, anytime we can have Bartlett be annoyed by somebody, I feel like that's good.
Well, again, Bartlett, heavy episode. There was a lot of Bartlett in this episode.
You don't hear us complaining. No. Sir.
All of the, I wish I could just, so many of my notes are just all of the funny lines from this episode, but like when Albie asks for the drink and then President Bartlett asks Charlie to get the drink and bring the copy of the Constitution. It's just great. It's just great. All of it.
Although I thought it was kind of interesting, and we've talked about this before, about Bartlett's lack of military experience. Yeah. And that was pretty heavy-handed in this episode. Like, even at the beginning, Leo says to Bartlett's face, like, this sounds worse because of your inexperience with the military. Right. And he kind of explains the whole situation with the submarine to Bartlett, kind of like he was a preschooler, like very slowly, just in a way that seemed more deliberate than in other episodes. Like, they really leaned into that. And I just thought it was kind of strange, you know, and then Bartlett's like trying to, he was trying to like save face and reiterate the same things that he had heard in the Situation Room, you know, like direct quotes from Leo multiple times throughout the episode. Like even at the end when, you know, the boat reappears and he's like, oh, well, you know, in these situations you gotta trust the captain and the crew and whatever. But I mean, it was fine. I just thought it was interesting that they really leaned into that a lot in this episode.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I really like, and I think I've said that before when we talked about his inexperience. I really like it because we talked about so many times that everybody in Sorkin's world has to be the smartest guy in the room. And so that's why I think I'm even more drawn to the moments when they're not. Like the moments of his moments of weakness when he's like, I don't know. Like at one point, Albie and Leo are talking, and Bartlett literally is like, I'm just going to stand over here. But then Albie says something in Latin, and the president comes right back over and is like, wait a minute, Latin? I know the Latin. And that was such a specific character moment. You know what I mean? I mean, he physically walked away when they were talking about the military stuff. And then as soon as he heard Latin, it was like a dog hearing the word treat. You know, like he just perks his little ears up and is like, oh, that's Latin for da-da-da-da. And then him at the end repeating those lines in the room. And it's so set up the perfect moment when Josh says, why do you want to be president? And the president's like, I don't. And it is, it's just interesting that those things are going on at the same time. We have this storyline of the president not knowing what to do and being out of his element. And at the same time, we're delving into why do you want to be president? And for the re-election, Yeah, I thought it was set up really well. And it brought us Albie. So, you know?
Yeah. Why do you want to be president? I don't. And Josh says, well, we'll put that in the hopper and show you a draft. Yeah. You know, I'm just like, that's great. Do we have an answer to that? There were a lot of funny, like, one-liners.
So many funny one-liners.
The whole thing at the beginning and the end about the helicopter blades, like, being, like, should we duck when we go to Marine One? Like, that was funny.
Yes, hilarious.
The whole thing, like, did Charlie roll his eyes because of the president's height or, you know, that whole ththing.
Yeah, him asking Charlie, when he talks about the Romans, he's like, when the Romans ran for such, did I just see you roll your eyes? That was pretty funny, because it would be hard not to. But there were so many one-liners. Bartlett asks Bruno, can you devise a campaign strategy that involves beating the crap out of Leo? That was pretty funny. It was just all... also, because I was about to say this episode was very light, but... actually, literally, this episode was very light, especially in the beginning. There are moments where President Bartlett and Leo are, like, walking around, and even in the beginning in the Oval Office, it is very well lit, and which is not normal for the West Wing. But at one point, President Bartlett and Leo are coming upstairs, and they're almost, like, glowing. Like, the whole staircase looks like it's glowing. They look like they're angels. They look like this is a scene that's taking place in West Wing heaven. Like, it was very strange. I was like, My eyes. I'm not used to this on the West Wing.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little strange, yeah.
I think, and the lighting guys on TV and movies, like, those are the top dogs there. I mean, yeah, the director, the writer, but, like, the lighting people, that's why it takes so long, so they gotta move all those lights, so. There was an artist at work that day, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. There were lots of, so many different lines. I mean, like, Bartlett and Leo were kind of in tension, trying to figure out the submarine thing, because Leo's basically advocating that they just kind of wait it out, that they should trust that the submarine's gone quiet on purpose. And Bartlett's still like, nope, 4 hours, and blah, blah, blah. And then, I don't know, he says something about Leo, like, oh, he's good to have around because he's Mr. Happy Fun Guy. Like, it's just, there's a lot of good lines in this one.
Yes.
We talk about, let's see.
Talk about Toby and
I
can't remember her name.
I can't either. The NEA lady, but she's not for the NEA.
No,
she's trying to get rid of it single-handedly.
Definitely not for the NEA. She's talking about all these ridiculous
modern
things. Yeah, put art in quotation marks, but it is a great exchange just because of Toby's personality. I mean, like when he goes on his little rant about all of the artists and Michelangelo and and that whole little speech was really great. And because it just goes. I was gonna say it goes so well with Toby's personality, or watching him do it is so funny. It's interesting to see Toby, curmudgeon, whatever, stick up for something so. I mean, I guess he's communications, but to see him stick up for so artsy, I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe that's just
totally. But it's just the principle of the thing. Like anytime it's the principle of the thing, you get Toby Ziegler on the case, because even if it's a guy who's making weird crap out of a toilet outside of Starbucks and lighting all his stuff on fire or whatever the scenario is,
which Sam didn't know you could get funding for. That was funny.
Right.
I've done that a few times.
I mean, like, I guess it's a kind of a fair argument, but not really, because I feel like the arts are the least funded in this country over many other countries. But just saying in general, yes, it was a funny one to have, and The
best was at one point when Toby's walking out of the room and she's saying something about so-and-so puts genital something, and Toby literally is just like, makes a noise at her, and the subtitle for that was just growling in parentheses.
Oh, yeah, the subtitle.
Growling in all caps. It was really funny. Toby growling.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no scene with Richard Schiff that I don't like. I really... except for one where, in some later season, where he and Josh have, like, a fist fight, and that was super bizarre. But I
have another one. Well,
okay.
Well, no, sorry. I should say, no, I think everything Richard Schiff does is flawless.
Yeah.
I have problems with Toby.
Sure. No,
but not even problems.
Understood.
I read a quote the other day that was so perfectly... I'm not going to be able to remember it now, but it's something about, like, a character can be good without, like, being a good character. I don't know, like... The fact that I have problems with him, to me, makes him a good character. I know I need to look up the actual real words, since that made no sense. But that, like, what makes the character good isn't, like, whether you just like them or don't like them, or whether they're, like, are actually a good person. I don't know, it's more about, like, how... I like that I get annoyed with Toby. But anyway, we'll get there.
Yes, you're invested. Loving people, it's like you take the good in with the bad. You can't just... take the good.
If they were perfect people, then it would be a lot more of a boring show.
True.
But we'll get to all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we definitely will.
Yeah.
Toby also comes into play a little bit in the campaign finance ethical dilemma, because we have to have an ethical dilemma in every episode, and this is our opportunity. So the campaign,
which interesting that we were just talking about principle, and I kind of would have seen Toby coming down on Sam's side, but I guess that shows how, like, desperate of a situation it is that even Toby, because Sam's surprised that Toby isn't, like, on his side, really.
Yeah, I was surprised it didn't actually turn into more of a how could you be... Yeah, I was surprised that he wasn't more dismayed by that. But I think Toby understood.
Although I guess, to be fair, in the end, he didn't... He did switch it around. Like, he wasn't excited about it. He wasn't totally on board. He was just like, well, let's see. So, yeah, to be fair, he wasn't, totally throwing Sam's point out the window. It did turn out better than they thought, but it was just... That was interesting. The whole... thing was interesting. I like Sam. I feel like Sam is very, very principled. It's the same thing that is with Lori. It's like, we talk about that with Toby a lot, but Sam very much so too. He's very like Boy Scout-esque, which by the way,
it's the spirit totally of the law.
Off topic, but I watched the pilot of The Grinder with Rob Lowe.
Oh, did you? How was it?
It was surprisingly good to me.
I've heard good things. Mostly from Rob Lowe. Talking about himself, but yeah,
I was pretty hesitant, but Fred Savage was a delight, and Rob Lowe played the character perfectly, so it's worth 20 minutes of your time, everyone.
And his son is on it too, Matthew, I think.
His son was
Jonathan?
on it.
I don't know.
Just very, very briefly, but he was on it. But he plays like this over dramatic character that like has been playing this lawyer for a really long time and is just a very like soap opera type person in real life, and it's really funny to watch him do that. So, anyway, there's a little plug for The Grinder.
A little plug for The Grinder. Yeah. We should also check out Ballers, since Dulé and Richard Schiff are on there.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
we need
that.
like an HBO. I don't have the HBO Go. That needs to
I've
change
got the
for
HBO.
sure.
I'll check it out.
Ooh. Okay, cool. Well, let's see. What else was there? There were some quotes.
How did you feel about Abby, like, sort of wanting to make a deal?
Golly. She likes making deals. Yeah.
We had a deal.
She's really big on that. But she was, like I said, I think it just really showed her humanity, and she realized the gravity of the situation, and she was really willing to... give up her license in certain states and resign from boards and stuff like that just to, like, quell the oncoming tide or whatever. So Absolutely. That kind of still remains to be seen how that will play out. But there was a funny line with Oliver because I guess she broke her ankle. That was kind of a random thing. So maybe she really did.
Did she really? Yeah, that's what I tried to look up trivia and I couldn't figure it out. Hopefully,
I don't know.
Although I did find in the trivia about Hal Holbrook was that he references, and now I don't have it, but he references a ship that went down, or submarine that was trapped or something, and there was a...
U-571?
No.
Matthew McConaughey?
I don't think so. It was...
it's a movie with Matthew McConaughey. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna find it, though, is what I'm gonna do.
Are you singing your own whole music?
Pueblo.
Pueblo.
Is that Pueblo? Pueblo.
That's the name of the submarine?
Yeah, I guess so. The USS Pueblo. And he references it in there and says, I was there. And in the movie Pueblo in 1973, Holbrook played the captain. So there's a little wink. Yep.
Wink.
That was cool.
A little nudge up against the fourth wall right there.
Yep. But I was trying to find out if Stockard Channing had actually injured herself because it was it made one point in the story, but it was a lot to do to make the point.
But it was funny. I wonder if Sorkin just came up with these lines here and then they broke her ankle because of it. Because Oliver says, nature, like a woman, will seduce you with its sights and its scents and its touch. And then it breaks your ankle, also like a woman. She's like, what the hell kind of dates are you going on, Oliver?
Yeah,
it was just
funny.
So... I think it was worth it.
Maybe so.
If they can pretend that people aren't pregnant for 9 months on TV shows, I feel like they can hide the fact that somebody broke their ankle. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They could have just not had the ankle in the shot. I kind of feel like
it had to have been for that dialogue.
Which was pretty great.
The only other note I had was that, I have other notes, but they're all just funny lines. But Josh, when he comes in and they're talking to Albie, he asks if there's anything he should know. And they say, not right now, or not, no. I would be the worst at that because I am the nosiest person. I want to be in on everything. So, I know we have a running tally of all the reasons that I cannot work in the White House.
Work at the West Wing.
But that's one of the top
And I'm
ones.
gonna try.
Is that I would be like, Leo would be like, not right now, Sally. And I would be like, no, it's okay. Tell me. I won't tell anybody. What's going on? What's happening? I would literally just badger him to death.
Would you be able to hold a secret?
Yes.
Like, keep a secret?
If he did tell me, I would be able to keep it. I'm not the type that's bursting to give out gossip. It's a control issue. It's that I want to know everything that's going on.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily care that other people know it. I don't like not being in the know. So.
True. I understand that. I hate
There's our little
surprises.
therapy session.
I know. Just, let's call, what's his name? What's our therapist? Stanley. Let's call him Stanley.
Right, yeah.
Ask him what he thinks about your neuroses.
That's what he would think. He would tell me it was a control issue. So, done.
This is, I read a review on the AV Club on their blog, in their recap of this episode. And they made a good point, I felt, that somehow, this is what the quote says, said, somehow the show has managed to make talking about something infinitely more compelling than actually seeing the thing happen. So I think they were referring specifically to both the submarine, like, we never saw the sub. I mean, there was, scenes in the Situation Room, but there wasn't a lot of action, right?
No,
it's all just talking about it. Same thing with the helicopter blades. You know what I mean? We're like... Mm-hmm. They don't try to make it some sort of slapstick joke. Not that you really could, because if you encounter a helicopter blade, it's probably not going to go well. It's not going to be as funny. But I thought it was a good point that, like, man, people really just enjoy the show, and we're just kind of talking about a lot of different issues, and sometimes not a lot physically happens.
Oh, yeah.
Know?
I would say, not even sometimes, but, like, I think that, like, 90% of the action happens off screen, especially in situations like that, when there are ships out to sea, or when there's, bombings happening, or hostage situations, or anything. All of the action usually happens in the West Wing, and I totally agree. It says a lot about the show that it doesn't have to do that. It can just talk about it, and it still holds your attention.
Oh, and I also loved the moment at the top of the episode where Leo's walking down to the Situation Room, and he says, one day I'm going to come down to the sit room and someone will say, good news, we've discovered buried treasure.
Wishful thinking.
Leo. That would be funny. I agree.
Yep.
So who would be your MVP? Are you going with Bartlett on this one?
Man, how am I surprised every time we get to the end of the episodes and I'm like, oh yeah, MVP. I think I'm gonna go. Well, who's yours?
I was gonna go with Bartlett, but I will happily pick CJ if you pick Bartlett.
I was also thinking about Toby, but I guess...
What?
I don't know. I liked his whole spiel with the girl, and I like that he sort of found the middle ground on the campaign stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Toby. I think Toby had a pretty good episode. So if you're gonna go with Bartlett.
Okay, but what about CJ? She's too sexy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'd pick Allison Janney for that.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
Well, I think, I can't not give it to her.
Okay.
Can I switch it from Bartlett to
I mean, Bartlett didn't really do that much. He just waited around a lot and complained about Albie.
He was just being the president. He had some funny lines and stuff.
And I really liked Albie, and Bartlett didn't, so... Points against him.
We're on Team Albie.
Yeah.
For sure.
Team Albie.
Well, I think that's a good recap for Gone Quiet.
Yep.
And if you have thoughts or feelings you'd like to contribute to this dialogue, feel free to send them to us. TheWestWingPodcast at gmail.com is our electronic mail address. We're also on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and we hear from different people on different platforms, and some of them on all, and it's great fun. So
it is very
join
fun.
in. We're at Wingin It Pod on most things. At Wingin It Pod. So there you go. Sweet. Woohoo! Alright, well, we will see you for the next episode. Talk to you in the next episode. It is undefined number, but the name of it is Indians.
I know, it's thrown us all off. Send us y'all's preference. Do we ignore Isaac and Ishmael or not?
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But next up is Indians in the Lobby. So we'll meet you in the lobby.
Wonderful. Bye.
Peace. Bye.